Good morning. I'm Dr. John Taylor Kent. Welcome to Awakening Israel. My purpose here is to awaken my brothers and sisters in Israel. And when I say that, I'm not referring to the Jews. I'm referring to the Israelites. Israel is a people. They're descendants of the man named Israel who was known as Jacob. This morning, from the PNV of the KGB, or KGB actually, KJB. Good morning. I've already done a few videos and I shut the air conditioning off so I could make this one for you. What we want to do is cover the Book of Obadiah, which is the shortest book in the Old Testament. I used to claim it was the shortest book in the Bible until somebody corrected me. There's shorter books in the New Testament. But this one has an amazing one whole chapter. And it's got 21 verses in it. So I'm going to try to go through this and explain this whole chapter to you because this is the critical chapter. And my big brothers get tired of me because they're saying, oh, no, not Obadiah again, not that. But, okay, the vision of Obadiah. Thus says the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise you, and let us rise up against her in battle, against Edom. Behold, I have made you small among the heathen. You are greatly despised. Don't know if that's the ambassador or Edom. Okay. The pride of your heart has deceived you, you that dwell on the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high, that says in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though you exalt yourself as the eagle, and though you set your nest among the stars, there I will bring you down, says Yahweh. If thieves came to you, if robbers by night, how are you cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to you, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau? How are the things of Esau searched out? Esau became named Edom. How are his hidden things sought up? So it is time to look at the hidden things of Esau and Edom. That's what we're living in now. All the men of your confederacy have brought you, even to the border. The men that were at peace with you have deceived you and prevailed against you. They that eat your bread have laid a wound under you. There is no understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, says Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Remember, mounts are governments. And your mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. So all of those who are in governments and from Esau will be cut off by slaughter. For your violence against your brother, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. Now remember, Esau and Jacob were born together as twins, and the violence against Jacob is what's being cited here as the problem. And you're going to be cut off forever, is what it says about Edom. That's the sentence for your violence against your brother, which basically is the violence against the descendants of Jacob. Jacob became known as Israel. So this is because of the violence against the real Israelites, against Israel. And remember, Edom's walking the earth today pretending to be Israel, and they're not. They're imposters, they're deceivers. It's an identity theft of the greatest magnitude. In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even you were as one of them. So Edom took part of that, especially when Jerusalem was hauled into captivity. They helped the Babylonians. And Edom basically was from Mount Seir. They were Mount Edom. But you should not have looked on the day of your brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither should you have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither should you have spoken proudly on the day of distress. You should not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yes, you should not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. They basically pilfered Jerusalem after this. People were hauled off. Neither should you have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should you have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. They actually helped hand over Israelites to the Babylonians. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As you have done, it shall be done to you. Your reward shall return upon your own head. For as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yes, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion, the government of Zion, shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. So a return of their possessions for the Israelites, which are still in dispersion, by the way, and have not gotten their possessions back. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Joseph out of Egypt with the two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them. Kindle, psychological term. Kindling mania, kindling rage. And devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mounts of Esau, and they of the plains the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even to Zarephath. And the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. And saviors shall come upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. So at this point in history, the hidden things of Esau, Edom, are being found out. That's what you're seeing. They're being revealed. That's your deep state. It's the Edomites down below everything. And so the things of Esau, how the things of Esau searched out. It's verse 6. How are his hidden things sought up? So the world is going to see all of this stuff revealed. That's what's going on now. And remember the violence against your brother Jacob. At the time Jerusalem fell and they were hauled off into captivity about 522 BC, it was Esau who was helping the Babylonians. And anybody who escaped from Jerusalem, the Edomites gathered up and handed over to the Babylonians. And when we're talking about Mount Zion, we're talking about the government of Zion to judge the Mount of Esau, the government of Esau. Right now today, you have what I call the fake Jews, the false Jews. And these are Edom, the Edomites. And Herod the Great was an Idumean, which is the Greek word for Edomite. He was in control of Israel at the time of Jesus, the time of Yeshua. And he ordered the murder of every baby in the area that Yeshua was said to have been born 2 years of age and under. And that was prophesied way back in Isaiah's time, and it came true there at about, I think it was about 4 BC, 3 BC is the proper birth date for Yeshua. And the kingdom shall be Yahweh's. The earth shall be Yahweh's. So we are in the middle of a transition period, the Great Reset. Yeah. We're going to be reclaiming this earth. The kingdom of heaven shall be upon the earth. And it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be exactly a down, drag out fight. It's going to be a drag on and on and on fight. It's going to take a while. Why is that? Because it says here, they shall kindle a flame. Well, in the King James Version, it's a little bit different than that. In the NIV, it's a little bit different than that. So basically, Yahweh's going to enrage them. He's going to kindle them with rage. And they will go after Esau, after Edom. Well, the problem right now is most of Israel doesn't even know who they are, much less who the enemy is. So this means basically that Jacob will ultimately be enraged. Now, what's it take to enrage Jacob? Well, remember the Georgia Guidestones? Right now we're having a massive die-off. The death rate was only 40% above the year before for last year. Okay, now the death rate halfway through this year is only 64% above the normal. So we're used to losing 500,000 people a year, but it's gone up higher. And if you want to know where those stats are from, go look up the insurance actuarials, go look up the insurance settlements, and you'll see it's documented, and you can't hide those facts, that they're paying out a lot more in life insurance settlements than what they ever have before. So they're really busy killing us, quite literally. And you all don't seem to understand that. So this loads up to Awakening Israel. Please like this and share this video. Subscribe. Give me some comments. Give me some feedback. I don't know if you like this or not. I don't know if you agree with it or not. I mean, there's so much that can be read into these verses. But that's the problem, is that is what we call milking the data, which is what happens in psychological testing when there's not good research on the fringe discoveries of it, when we put too much faith into the psychological tests. So, am I putting too much into this book of Obadiah? Am I not putting enough into it? There's a few things that I don't understand, but I do understand this passage quite well. And the house of Joseph aflame. Joseph, the two sons of Joseph, Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim became Great Britain, an empire of nations, and Manasseh became the great nation, the Americas, the United States of America, are Manasseh. So, we're going to be aflame, and we're going to burn out the house of Edom, the house of Esau. It's necessary, folks. They've been destroying people for years. They're responsible for probably 450 million Christians alone through one of their vassals, and through the other vassal a lot. In Russia alone, they holocausted 100 million Christians in the USSR during the reign in the Soviet Union. You don't believe me? Read Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He documented that. He was a great man. The Russians are our brothers. They came to our aid. The Tsars saved us during our Revolutionary War and during the Civil War. And as a result, the people that were after us, the Rothschilds basically, and their ilk, were very angry with the Tsar. That's why they went after the Tsar and his family and killed Anastasia. They killed the entire family, stole the Tsar's gold, the Tsar's wealth, and probably brought that gold into the United States. So we actually owe the Russian people a lot at this point. So read your Bibles, get the proper name version of the King James Bible. That's the way you can support me. If you don't want it for yourself, get it for somebody else. It makes an excellent gift. If you're doing a ministry, a prison ministry, these are the Bibles to put into those guys' hands. Believe it or not, they do read the Bibles in the prisons quite a bit. By the way, the bad guys read the Bibles too, and they're using them like a playbook. They don't understand that they serve Yahweh, and they're going to learn a hard lesson. And they have themselves cornered right now, and they're looking for a way out. Well, the only way out is for us to become Bible readers and for us to live according to the law. The natural law, the Ten Commandments, and these other laws and guidance like love, truth, and justice, that's in the Bible. That's a major one. It's repeated over and over. Do not give your daughters to the people of the land to become wives to them. In other words, don't intermarry with the Canaanites. Why? Because they were fallen angelic DNA, fallen angelic seed. They were the tares among the wheat, sowed by an enemy. The angel named Gadriel impregnated Eve and was the father of Cain. The land of Canaan, named after Cain. There was good reason for all the destruction of those peoples. Just because you don't like it and you think God was just too angry and Jesus never would have done that. You just don't know enough. You don't understand enough to accept the truth that's in the Bible. So if anything offends you in this book, there's probably something wrong with you. And believe me, there's some things in here that perplex the heck out of me. So join me in this channel as we explore the Bible together. Get these Bibles. You got to read them for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Start with Genesis. Read Genesis carefully. If the genealogies get a little boring, go ahead and push on through. Later, that's going to mean a lot more to you. But this is the version you want to get. It's the modern English version. The interpretation is much more accurate than the original King James version, any of the King Jameses, including the authorized version. What's the best version of the Bible? The one you read. Yahweh bless.